They spoke to no one, except each other. Their eerie silence hid a dark secret, one that would lead to arson, crime, and an unspeakable tragedy. What made these two inseparable sisters vow that only one of them could live? The story I want to tell you today takes place in the small town of Haverfordwest in Pembrokeshire, Wales. Nestled in the southwestern part of the United Kingdom, this quiet town is known for its rolling green hills, medieval ruins, and picturesque coastal views. But hidden beneath its peaceful landscape lies one of the most chilling tales of psychological isolation, crime, and tragedy. The main subjects of this story are June and Jennifer Gibbons, twin sisters born on April 11, 1963. At the time our story unfolds, they are 18 years old. Young, intelligent, yet trapped in an eerie world of their own making. Their story is not just one of sibling love, but of obsession, madness, and an unspeakable pact that would change everything. The bond that no one could break. June and Jennifer were the daughters of Caribbean immigrants. Their father, Aubrey, worked for the Royal Air Force, and their mother, Gloria, was a housewife. From birth, the twins were inseparable. It was as if they shared not only a home, but also a single soul. Even as infants, their mother noticed something strange. They wanted to be fed at the same time, sleep at the same time, and even cry together. As they grew older, their bond became even more unnerving. They developed their own private language, a secret dialect that no one else could understand. This wasn't just childish babbling. This was cryptophagia, a phenomenon where twins create an entirely new language to communicate exclusively with each other. But June and Jennifer took it further. They didn't just speak in code. They refused to speak to anyone else. Their silence made them easy targets for bullies. Growing up as one of the few Black children in their Welsh community, they already stood out. But their eerie, synchronized movements and whispered conversations made them the stuff of urban legends. Their school principal was so concerned of their isolation that he allowed them to leave class early every day just to avoid the other students' taunts. The more the world pushed them away, the deeper they retreated into their own twisted universe. A love-hate relationship. By the age of 14, their bond had become something far more toxic. Though they loved each other deeply, they also despised one another. June wrote in her diary, "She wants us to be equal. There is a murderous gleam in her eye. Dear Lord, I am scared of her. She is not normal. Someone is driving her insane. It is me." Jennifer's diary echoed the same torment. "We have become fatal enemies in each other's eyes. Without my shadow, would I die? Without my shadow, would I gain life, be free or left to die?" Their love for storytelling became their only escape. They wrote plays and novels, sending their works to publishers in hopes of becoming recognized authors. June's novel Pepsi Cola Addict told the story of a high school boy who was seduced by a teacher and later tormented by a guard in reform school. Jennifer's novel The Pugilist told the chilling tale of a father who killed his dog to save this child's life, only for the dog's spirit to take revenge. Their works were disturbing, mirroring their inner turmoil. Control, obsession, and a dark prophecy. Teachers, therapists, and even their own family members tried to break their silence. Specialists suggested separating them, hoping that forcing them apart would push them toward normal social interaction. It didn't work. Instead, something much more disturbing happened. Without each other, they fell into a near catatonic state. They became completely unresponsive, unable to function. Their bond wasn't just strong, it was suffocating. One teacher described them as zombies, moving in slow, synchronized motions, never breaking eye contact, never reacting to the world around them. It was as if they were two bodies sharing one mind. But behind closed doors, the relationship was far from harmonious. They wrote in their diaries about their love-hate relationship. Jennifer saw June as an obstacle, someone she needed to control. And June? She saw Jennifer as something even more terrifying, a dark shadow, robbing her of her own soul. June wrote, "Nobody suffers the way I do, not with a sister. With a husband, yes. With a wife, yes. With a child, yes. But this sister of mine, a dark shadow robbing me of sunlight, is my one and only torment." Jennifer wrote, "We have become fatal enemies in each other's eyes. I say to myself, can I get rid of my own shadow? Without my shadow, would I die? Without my shadow, would I gain life?" As their thoughts turned darker, so did their actions. From writers to criminals, the twins found escape in writing. They crafted disturbing stories of obsession, violence, and madness. June's novel, Pepsi Cola Addict, follows a young boy seduced by his teacher before being sent to a reformatory where a guard abuses him. Jennifer's book, Discomania, told the tale of a nightclub that drives its visitors to insane acts of violence. But writing wasn't enough. They needed more. They needed to make the world notice them. And so they turned to crime. It started small, shoplifting, vandalism. But soon their hunger for chaos escalated. One night, they set a tractor store on fire, causing over $200,000 in damages. They watched the flames rise into the night sky, their eyes wide with an emotion they rarely showed, excitement. By the time they were caught, they had been arrested multiple times for theft, arson, and destruction of property. But instead of prison, they were sent somewhere much worse. Broadmoor Hospital, a high-security psychiatric hospital for the criminally insane. The Pact of Death. Jennifer had made up her mind. One day, she confided in Wallace, saying, "Marjorie, I'm going to have to die." Wallace was horrified. "Why?" she asked. Jennifer's answer was chillingly simple. "Because we decided." On the day of their transfer to Caswell Clinic, a lower security facility, Jennifer's fate was sealed. As they were being transported, Jennifer suddenly slumped onto June's shoulder, unconscious. By the time they arrived at Caswell, Jennifer was pronounced dead at 6:15 p.m. The cause? Acute myocarditis, an inflammation of the heart. No signs of foul play, no poison, no clear medical explanation. Doctors were baffled. Jennifer, at just 31 years old, was gone. The mystery of Jennifer's death, a chilling twin bond. Twins share an extraordinary connection, one that often defies scientific understanding. But among all the eerie twin stories, none is as haunting as that of Jennifer and June Gibbons, the so-called silent twins. Their bond was one of obsession, secrecy, and a pact that would end in tragedy. What truly happened on the day Jennifer died? Was it a medical anomaly, or did something more sinister take place? June's chilling reaction. Jennifer's sudden death at the age of 29 left many unanswered questions. The official cause was reported as acute myocarditis, an inflammation of the heart. But she had no prior health conditions, no warning signs. One moment she was alive, the next she was gone. Even stranger was June's reaction. Instead of mourning her sister, June uttered a chilling statement. "I'm free at last, liberated. Jennifer has given up her life for me." From that moment, everything about June changed. For years, she and Jennifer had been inseparable, locked in their own private world, speaking only to each other in a language no one else understood. They had refused to interact with society, their bond so strong that it isolated them completely. But after Jennifer's death, June transformed. The once reclusive, silent girl became social. She spoke with doctors, caregivers, and even strangers. It was as if she had been reborn, free from an invisible prison. She was released from psychiatric care and eventually moved into her own home near her parents in West Wales. But how could someone go from being entirely dependent on their twin to leading a normal life overnight? A pact that defied logic. June and Jennifer's story had always been unsettling. As children, they refused to communicate with anyone else, developing a cryptic language only they could understand. Teachers, doctors, and even family members were disturbed by their eerie silence. They mirrored each other's actions as if controlled by an unseen force. Over the years, their obsession with one another led to criminal behavior. They committed arson, vandalism, and petty theft, acts that landed them in Broadmoor Hospital, a high-security psychiatric facility. There, they reportedly made a chilling decision. One of them had to die for the other to live a normal life. Jennifer was the one who agreed to sacrifice herself. And eerily, soon after they were transferred from Broadmoor to a lower security clinic, Jennifer inexplicably died. The unanswered questions. Jennifer's death was ruled as natural, but was it really? Could she have willed herself to die? Some believe in the power of the mind over the body. Throughout history, cases have been recorded where people have supposedly willed themselves into sickness or even death. Was Jennifer's bond with June so strong that she could simply choose to stop living? Was there an undetected medical condition? Some argue that years of psychiatric medication and the stress of isolation may have weakened Jennifer's body. But acute myocarditis is rare and often has symptoms before it becomes fatal. Symptoms Jennifer never exhibited. Was June involved? While there is no evidence of foul play, skeptics question whether there was something darker behind Jennifer's death. Was it a coincidence that she died just as they were about to be free from psychiatric care? June, now in her 60s, has lived a quiet life since Jennifer's passing. She no longer speaks of the pact they made. But in her silence, does she still feel Jennifer's presence? Does she ever hear the echoes of their secret language in the dead of night? The legacy of the silent twins. The case of Jennifer and June Gibbons remains one of the most disturbing psychological mysteries in modern history. Their story is one of obsession, isolation, and a death that cannot be easily explained. What truly caused Jennifer's death? Was it a sacrifice, a final act of love for her sister? Or was it something even more terrifying, something we may never fully understand? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more eerie true crime stories that will leave you questioning everything you know about human nature. Until next time, stay curious, stay safe, and watch your shadows.